crazy, but it sounds better now.
Okay,
I don't know if you.
I think we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's we've got three hosts today, and
This is my
yeah,
new cat Bandit. He's going a little crazy right now. I think he's confused as to why I'm talking to my computer screen.
is he not used to you doing like videos and stuff?
So a lot of times when I film my videos, actually, Amanda, she works overnights. She'll be sleeping, and so he will
Oh,
just go with her, and
really?
I'll close my door. So he just so I well, because I don't want to wake them either. Because the room that I'm in that I record in is not like we live in a small apartment, so it's not very far. So I usually close the door, and so normally he's not in here, but I
Yeah.
felt bad because Amanda's at the gym right now, and so I didn't want to just like you know I wouldn't be surprised if he started scratching at the door. So I was like, I'll just keep the door open. But
Do you want to
he
tell us the story of Bandit?
yeah, so we how we got Bandit. Oh, there he is. If he messes with stuff, I apologize.
All right.
But so basically, apparently he was a stray at one point. I don't know for how long. And then Amanda's brothers, um, his I guess fiance now, her sister was moving and she had to get rid of him because she couldn't keep both. She had like two cats. She couldn't keep both of them for whatever reason. And then he reached out to Amanda's brother, and said, "Hey, do you?" Because we had been talking about maybe wanting a cat, and we were just like, you know what, let's do it. So
Yeah.
we got him, and he's great, but he's on one right now. He's going a little crazy.
That's so
But
cute,
yeah,
man.
it's been great. It's been a lot of fun though. It's been cool to have an animal, because we didn't have an animal before. So
Yeah. No, cats are the best, man. As I said to you just now, like before we recorded, and I'd love to have a cat. It's just having a dog and a cat, you never know how it's going to go, especially a
yeah,
dog like Kenji, very primal, very like,
primal is a good word for him.
yeah, like that. He's a thing. And I don't know how he get on with a cat. Like, he's played with cats in like parks when there's been cats like outside and stuff.
Mhm.
But like a cat coming into his territory, I don't know how that would work. I think he'd be fine with another dog. Like when I've stayed at my parents, he loves my dad's dog, like, and they get on so well, which is really weird to think. But
Mhm.
yeah, if anything, the dog has to tell Kenji to basically like leave him alone. Like he'll bark
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Kenji and like growl at him, being like you're doing too much. But
Mhm.
yeah, sorry about that, everyone. We just wanted to introduce the third member of the podcast. Well, the fourth.
Yeah.
Ambulance not here today, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Sadly.
How, yeah, how have you been, man? I know we spoke just now, but just to the viewers, we can lie about how our week's going.
Dude, things have been pretty good. I've recently gotten a new hyperfixation. I know that's something that we talk about, and that has been books. I have actually started a book account. I started a YouTube as well as an Instagram, just because I was posting a lot of like book stuff on my main Instagram, and it just wasn't, not that, I mean, I obviously I understand I can post whatever I want. It's my Instagram, but I
Doesn't
was
feel
like, I
right.
just kind of want a place where I can post any
Mm,
book stuff and not even give it a second thought. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
and not feel, it's not that I felt guilty, but it's like, I don't know, it's just hard, man. I actually talked about this on my Instagram because I've had that Instagram for 12 years, maybe more. Like, it's been a long time, right? And it has a lot of followers or whatever, but a lot of them are dead followers. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just, it's
Yeah.
not, the engagement isn't that high. And so sometimes it's just hard to even really want to post there, because I feel like sometimes I'm like talking to a brick wall. I'm like, here you guys go. And it's just like, oh, cool. Nobody saw it. Which again, I'm not complaining. Like, it is
Am
what it
I
is.
imagining things there, or did that post do really well? Because I was
Of
like,
course it does, because it
yeah,
always,
yeah.
that's how it always works.
I was
I was
looking at the comments. I was like, damn, this has got a lot of comments on.
Yes, and that's how it always works when you make a post saying, "Hey, man, things aren't going well." And again, it wasn't me posting being like, "This isn't fair. It's not fair that." Like, I get it, dude. It's an old account. I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to complain. I was just trying to make that post because I hadn't posted on that Instagram for a while, and so I was just like, "Hey, let me just kind of tell people what's going on, why I'm not posting on this account much, right?" But so I made that post, and then of course I was like, of course this post does well, right? But I was just like, whatever. But so I made a book account, and that's kind of where I've been pretty much posting stuff, just like reviews, and just, it's the thing that I'm interested in, so it's a lot more fun. So that's been cool, man. It's been a nice kind of change of pace, to kind of have something new that I'm like excited about. That's not obese to beast, I guess. That's kind of its own thing.
Yeah, yeah. Have you you've been posting more? I think you did the Lord of the Rings, right? Because I know you did the Hobbit, but you
Yeah,
started reading Lord of the. Have you read the Lord of the Rings, or have are you
yeah.
going for it?
So I'm going through it right now. I have like 50 pages left of the Two Towers.
Yeah.
And so I basically what I think I've decided to do on my book account or my booktube channel, I guess, my book channel, is that I'm doing a review of each of the Lord of the Rings books. So I started with The Hobbit. That was just happenstance. I was just like, I read The Hobbit and I was like, cool, let me talk about this. And it seemed to resonate with a lot of people, which was cool. So there's like a lot of comments on it, which was really a really good feeling for me because it was like it wasn't people that were like, oh, Obese to Beast is making a book account. It was just people that had no idea who I was. And so that was really cool. And they were like, the people were like really supportive of me reading The Hobbit, and a lot of people seemed to enjoy the video, which was cool. And then I was like, you know what? Let's read Lord of the Rings. Like it's this like book that it's been in the cultural zeitgeist for so long. The movies came out when I was young, and so it's always been something that I've known about, but I never read. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just read each of the books. So basically, I've been like reading one book and then talking about how I feel about it. But I think I'm gonna do a video for each book, and then also I think I'm gonna watch all the movies and then do like a video,
Nice.
just one video, kind of saying how I feel about the movies versus the
Wait,
books and
you've
things
not
like that.
you've not watched the movies? Surely you
I
watched.
th- I think I've watched maybe two of them when I was very young, but I really
Wow.
don't like. I remember like the none shall pass and like the really big moments, but I don't like really remember the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I watched them once, and I was probably like
That's
10 or 11 or something.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
To me, like everyone I know, I don't know if it's like I don't know, Americans love Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Were you just not into like fantasy as a kid then, or?
yeah. And I was very I was raised in a very Christian household, and there was like
Oh
this,
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah,
that like my mom wasn't like, you can't watch that stuff, but it was just
yeah.
like the hype that I had for Lord of the Rings was a lot less than the Narnia books. Like when those came
Really?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when that movie came out, that was like this huge event at the church that I was going to at the time. They rented a whole theater and like we watched that movie. And so it was just again, I wasn't in a house where my mom was like, Harry Potter is the devil, like there were some people that like that, or like some parents apparently were like, Pokemon is evil as well. And
Yeah, yeah, that was a big.
I wasn't, my mom wasn't like that, but it wasn't like, a huge deal for my mom for sure. So
Well, yeah, I mean, with Narnia, that is basically like an allegory for the Bible, right?
that's what a lot
Aslan
of people say. That's what a lot of people
dies
say. Yeah.
on his type of cross and gets
And then he rises
resurrected. Yeah,
again. And
yeah, yeah. I have only I've only read part of like the first book, like The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. I've seen the movie, but I've not watched the other movies. Like I didn't watch the Prince Caspian movie or
Mhm.
anything like that. I've always felt though that Narnia is like one of those series, like as much as like it is Christian fantasy, I think it is a good story, and I'm quite surprised that like it hasn't been picked up like by like a Disney Plus or an HBO.
I think there's something coming out soon.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
I think so. I think that there's
That'd be
like a
cool.
new something coming out. I don't know if it's movies or a
I mean,
show.
people are going to complain that it's like Christian fantasy, but it's good. It's good. I mean, the Bible's actually really interesting. Like, if you read the Bible, it's like, I mean, there's a lot of books in the Bible, but like, there's some good stories in the Bible.
Mhm.
Very interesting. Like, I mean, I don't believe in like, but like, I've read parts of the
Yeah,
Bible,
yeah.
and I think there can be some general good fantasy there. Whether we'll get a Bible HBO show, who
Now
knows?
that's gonna be on the Daily Wire's version of HBO, I'm sure.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. Can you imagine? I thought Kenji comes to the room and he's like vibrating because a firework just went off.
Oh, dude, that
Yeah.
sucks, dude. I'm
He
sorry.
doesn't want me to pick him up though. He's just stood by me vibrating, and if I try to pick him up, he'll run away, then just come back in like a minute's time. It's a weird
Yeah,
dog.
Bandit doesn't love to be picked up yet. I'm not sure if he ever will, to be honest, but it's okay.
It is one
I
of
want
those
to
things.
so bad. I'm just want
Yeah,
to pick
I
him
mean,
up
who
and hold
knows?
him, but he's like right now, if you pick him up, he's usually like, let me down. Let me down right
Yeah.
now.
I always try to. Well, I don't. I say I try to like. Ellie's cats will like when I go back to hers, like her parents' pet house. She has two cats, and I will not like run to them and pick them up, but like if they come to me, I'll like slowly like scoop them, like make sure they're comfortable and pick them up. But one of them is okay with it, but the other one does not like it. So I've kind of given up and I've fallen out with that cat because they got mad at me for picking them up one time. I'm very much, I like to pick things up, especially animals, man. Like Kenji is very accustomed to be picked. Right now he doesn't want to because he's scared. But like he loves being picked up, just because he's been picked up a lot since he was a puppy. But I imagine like you can train an animal into liking it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. He's still new to us, right? Like we've only had him for 2-ish weeks, so you know, maybe in a few months he'll be crawling on my shoulders. Who knows? You know, I hope so. But we'll see. I don't want to force anything. You know, I want. He's obviously he's moved around quite a bit. I think so. I think the trust has to be built before we can just expect him to, you know, treat me like his dad, you know, so it is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad.
Well, let's talk about you because apparently you can't walk. Is that a secret? Am I not supposed to talk about that? Like what happened?
No.
I don't know fully exactly what happened. Yeah, I know that you're injured, but I don't know exactly what happened. I have a guess in my head as to what probably you were doing when it happened, but
for context to the audience, my ankle is broken and fractured, which is not fun. What's your guess of how I did it?
I'm assuming you were playing football.
It's the first time I've ever broken a bone playing sport in my life. I've ripped ligaments playing football when I was 16 in the same ankle, but I've never broken a bone playing football, and hopefully this is the last time it happens. But basically, the rule that I've now learned is to not play football with people that don't play football, because I was playing football with my friends who don't play football, so it's on my bet. My birthday's already happened, but basically that weekend on the Friday, all my friends from like Manchester were coming down to stay at mine. We were gonna have a good time, go on a night out on Friday, and then on Saturday we were meeting even more friends. I had friends from home coming down, and then friends in London. We were all gonna go do laser tag, then go out karaoke and stuff like that. So we're having a good time. We go to the pub and stuff like that, play some pool, some snooker and stuff, have some drinks, and then we've booked out a pitch to play football on, just for a kickabout and stuff like that. And I think it was like, I don't know how many I think it was like 6 of us, and we were like, oh, we'll do like a 2v2 or 3v3, which is not going to be like that hard. And these guys, they don't play football. I'm the only one there that they watch football, they like football, but they just don't play it, which is a big difference. And so basically we're playing and it's going fine. Like this is like, it gets to like the last, we basically said like, oh, the next goal, we'll call it a day. We'll go home and go out. And I remember 15 minutes before saying that, I can feel my ankle. I should probably stop playing because I can feel like I can feel some strain in like the ligament area, which was just like, it's probably a bit tired. I've done a lot of exercise that week, so I probably shouldn't push it because I don't want to like break my ligaments. And so that was the moment where I should have just been like, end it there. It wasn't a ligament injury that happened. So basically, it's at the midway point of the pitch, the halfway line, and I just get on the ball, and I'm running towards the ball, and the other guy's running towards the ball. I'm clearly going to win the ball because I'm faster and I'm closer. He's like a 6'4" big guy, like he's a big dude. Like he's like a naturally just a beast of a man. And
so I understand what that's like.
Like a stocky guy.
Yeah.
A lot of weight.
I understand.
On the challenge.
I understand what it's like being 6'4". Yeah, because I'm about that tall.
We can both relate.
I can relate. Yeah.
But he's a big guy, and I go to like stick my foot to get the ball, and then he also lunges in with his leg, and like I think making challenges in football, it looks like so easy. Yeah. Like you feel like, oh, you just put your foot in, win the ball, and that's that. But it's like the timing, knowing like what you're doing. Like I think when you play sport, like in the UK, the majority of I tell you, to be fair, a majority of young boys play football as a kid. I'm sure. So you're like, it's like in South America, like people play it since they're like 2 years old, pretty much. Like,
well, it's like here in America, it's like American football. Like, most kids know how to throw a football. It's so funny when I see Europeans try and throw American football because I can't do it. It's just such a natural
Yeah.
motion. It would be like
natural
if
motion,
you saw
isn't
me
it?
kicking a football, you'd be like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know how to do
Yeah.
this." Like,
It's like I went to play badminton with my girlfriend, and there was a ball in my bag, and there was like a goal on the pitch we were playing because it was like a converted badminton tennis court and a football court at the same time. So the ball came out and she kicked it, and I'm like, it's crazy how like there is such a difference between kicking a ball and kicking a ball. Like, I know it sounds weird, but like you just have that natural motion and understanding. And I'm not claiming to be good at football, by the way. Like, I just have some level of understanding because I've played it for a long time. So he just fucking lunges in, connects directly, not with the ball, with my ankle, but not just with my ankle, his entire fucking size 30.
And he's a large individual as well.
Yeah, hold on. UK size 13 in USA. That is say, oh, do you have okay, so that would be size 13, 14 feet. That's what he
it's
had.
like the UK and US are pretty similar.
Yeah.
Foot measurements.
I feel it wrap around. I don't even know how he fucking did it. His whole foot wrapped around my ankle. Like, and it goes like this. And so like his foot goes round and my ankle just goes like that. It just like snap. And I'm like, I just fall like that onto the floor. I don't land. To be fair, if I tried to stay upwards on my ankle, my dad always used to say to me, like, when you're running, if you fall into like a hole, like a pothole or something like that, just fall with your motion
and roll
straight.
And roll.
Just go straight down and roll, because if you try and stay up, there's a high chance you're going to snap your ankle because your body weight will just fall into it. And so I was like, naturally just fell down, and I think I probably helped the breakage a lot there. But I then like just I don't know, I don't even know why. Like I don't really know, because I've never broken a bone before. But I just felt the need to just take my football boot off and take my socks off, because I was like, this just doesn't feel right. And literally within about a minute, my foot has just like got into like there's like a bowling ball on my ankle. Did you see the photo on my Instagram? Yeah, it was. I won't show it here, but people like, just because it's like, it is actually a bit like not gory, but it is like kind of it's like unnatural. It doesn't look right. And yes, I was fucking screaming. And Barrett, this guy's one of my best friends. Right? He's one of my closest friends.
He probably felt so bad. I can't even imagine.
The audacity. I think it was a thing of like self-defense of when you realize you've hurt someone and you don't want to be like guilty. He says, "I won the ball." If I were like, I'm not a violent man, but if I could stand in that moment, I would have fucking killed that man. I was so angry.
It's like probably denial is part of it too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I don't hold any grudges against him at all. Like he's obviously feels bad about it. It's not his fault. It's sport. These things happen. It's a complete accident. But I'm wearing it because we're playing in the rain as well. So I'm wearing like a beanie, and I've never done this before, but like it was like a natural motion of like I pulled like my beanie down and basically just like screamed into my beanie because I was in so much pain. I've never felt this pain before. It was so fucking bad. Couldn't put any weight on it. Couldn't walk on it. Couldn't bend it. And I have to be basically carried home by the two biggest guys there. Like one arm around and the other arm around. And thankfully the pitch is only around the corner from where I live. And I'm like, the rest of the night, I'm out. Like I said to those guys, I was like, you guys still go out. You've come down from Manchester. Don't worry about me. I call up Ellie because she wasn't there now. And I was like, I don't even know why. I just need somebody here right now.
Of course.
Like some comfort or something. So I'm just sat there. I don't go to hospital. I don't know why. I'm like, I think
I probably would have done the same thing, to be honest.
I think it was because the day after there was such a big event happening. I had friends from the other side of the country coming down, other friends. There was about 30 people organizing this event. And I was like, I put a message in the group chat being like, I don't think I can do laser tag tomorrow, guys. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see how I feel in the morning. And I go onto my phone and I buy some crutches and I make it like collect from the store in the morning. And I make my friends go and get those to me in the morning. And because at this point, when I go to bed, I can't bend my foot at all. And the next morning I wake up, I somehow sleep on it. I did get a decent sleep. And then I wake up in the morning and I can barely put any weight on this thing, like at all. I can like stump around limping. And I don't know how I fucking did it. But bear in mind, there's no, I think the thing that to me, there was no bruise at that point. There was absolutely no bruising. So I put on an ankle brace, which hurt to put on, and it's like a compression brace at the same time too. And I had my I limped to an Uber, and they went out to get me my crutches, and I limped to an Uber to the laser tag place because I was like, I'm still doing fucking laser tag. And so I limp in the Uber, and I'm like limping all the way there. I have to like limp down the stairs to get into the place because there's no elevator there. And the crutches turn up, and I'm like, I can't use crutches playing laser tag. And I've played this laser tag arena before where there's like a center arena. So I'm like, I'm going to sit in that entire arena the whole time and just like duck and shoot. And I do it. And we play 2 rounds. First round, I come second. First round comes second. First round, I win. Second round, I win the entire game. I come first by a mile. This is against 40 people, by the way. People, my friends were like, it's because you were camping. But I'm like, I'm sorry. I had a fucking broken ass ankle. You could have just gone behind me and shot me. I still won. I beat 40 people, 39 in the first game. So I was very happy with that. Doesn't end there though. With this ankle, which I'm unaware of what the injury is at this point. I'm just hoping it's like a very bad bruise,
sprain or something.
Yeah, sprain. That's what I was going off, a sprain. And then we go to the pub. I'm there for about 4 hours. I'm just limping around, saying hi to my friends and stuff like that. Then we go to karaoke, then at the nighttime, and then we go out again. And it's like 1 a.m. And at that point, I'm starting to feel like pain in my foot. I'm like, this is probably a bad idea. I haven't looked at my foot all day. I've got a brace around it the entire time, a compression brace. And last time I looked at it, there was no bruising at all. So I said to my girlfriend, I was like, let's leave these guys out. They can have some fun. I'm going to go home. It's like 1 a.m. at this point. I've had a long day. So I limp all the way home, which is probably about a mile limp to the nearby tube station, get on the tube. And then actually, did I get on the tube? No, I think I got on the tube. I can't remember if I got an Uber or tube. I was in that much pain. I got home eventually, and I sit down on my bed. I take the compression sock off. My entire foot is just purple. Like it is like from the top to the bottom, from the toes to the ankle, up the leg, it's purple. And I just thought, I have royally fucked this up. I've probably done more damage to this foot than I realized. And the next day I didn't go to the hospital because my friends were still there. The Monday morning I went to the hospital, and to be fair, like I thought the waiting list was going to be like 6 hours. They took my Steam Deck with me. They sorted me in like 5 minutes. They got I don't know if it was because it was bad, but I had an X-ray on it, and they came back saying you've got a break and a displaced fracture, but I don't need surgery on it. Thankfully.
Wow.
It's been about 15 days, and honestly, like, I'm walking pretty well now, which is pretty mad considering how bad it was. Like yesterday, I did a 4,000 step walk, which isn't that much.
But I mean,
considering it's broken, like that's not. They gave me a big ass boot, and they were like, "You don't have to wear it all the time. Only do it on like if you do a long distance thing." I didn't wear it for yesterday's long distance thing, and I felt fine. And it wasn't like I pre-planned doing it. I just took Kenji downstairs for like his little pee. And I've been hiring this person who every day comes and walks in for like an hour and a half. So he gets a big long walk in on top of like his 2 smaller walks that I do. But I was just like, I feel like I can walk this. I feel like I could just go. And I managed to. And I just went around the block, which is like 4,000 steps. And I mean, it felt a little, not like, I think that's the difference between like an ankle that hasn't done any movement for 2 weeks, so it feels a little achy on that, than an ankle that's like hurting the break. It just felt a bit tired. And I woke up today, felt fine. There was no extra swelling. So I feel like I'm on the mend, quite a quick mend. I've been taking shitloads of supplements and eating so much fucking protein just to hope that, like, obviously I know it's not going to be a quick fix, but I mean, protein matters in all sorts. And so I've been trying to get between like 150 and 200 grams of protein every day in. And taking lots of collagen, magnesium, vitamin C, and all of that shit. I've turned into a proper biohacker. But I think it's like helping. And maybe it's not, but like the where I'm at after 15 days, the bruise is completely gone now. The swelling is down massively. I can like see the veins in my feet again, which I couldn't for like 2 weeks. The only thing is though, in 3.5 weeks' time, I'm going to Norway, and I'm not just going to Norway in Oslo, where it's like a regular ass city. I'm going to the north of Norway, which is like the tundras,
I'm hiking and stuff.
I'm not hiking. That's no way. But it's like I want to see the northern lights and stuff. So dude. I'm hoping I'm gonna buy some really good like hiking boots just to
Dude,
walk
that's
around.
awesome, man. I
But
want to go and experience like so there's this channel that I watch. I'm not sure if I've already brought this up, but there's this channel. Her name's Cecilia Blomdahl, I think is how you say her name. But she lives in Svalbard, which is they have the polar night where during winter it's dark all day long, right? And
yeah,
so there'll be northern lights like in the sky at 1 p.m., right? And it's just like it looks like it would be so cool. I'm not sure if I would be able to handle living there because no
oh yeah,
sun
yeah.
would be tough for me. But man, her videos are awesome. I really like to watch them, but it's made me want to visit like a place like that, you know, it's like super north and like and then
Yeah,
in summer they have no night, you know, so
yeah.
it'd be cool.
This is where I'm going to. A place called Tromso in
Wow,
Norway.
it's
So as
so
you can
pretty,
see,
man.
it's
Oh
very
my
ice.
god, yeah.
Yeah, it's very icy. It's very like Nordic, and there's like husky sledding and everything like that. And they have like these things here. I can't remember what they're called, but it's like giant ass valleys. And it's like
Jeez.
it's like one of the only
That
places where they
looks like
have.
Lord of the Rings right there, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I'm going there with a broken ankle. But based on like the trajectory, like they said to me, "Oh wait, you're gone. Oh, we're big.
We're big.
There we go.
Oh,
There we
we're
go."
small.
They said to me, 6 weeks and it should be fixed, which is like quite a quick period of time.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, yeah. But to be fair,
Well, here's what
they've also given me. This is where being a British person actually is good for once. A free physiotherapist, which is nice. I get free physiotherapy all for free. X-rays were free. Everything was free. It's great.
well, good thing you weren't American because that would put you in generational debt here.
Yeah. They were like, yeah. I did think because like having such an American audience, I do look at things very American-y. And when they said to me, "Oh yeah, we'll give you for a physiotherapist in 6 weeks' time. You can have like 12 weeks of physiotherapy," and I was like, just for free like that?
Like, how much is this going to cost me? I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but I've never had physiotherapy. Whether I'll take it or not, I probably should if I want to get back to playing sport quickly, and I will. It's just I don't like pain, man, and I know that's going to be like some big stretches that's going to make me feel some level of pain, and that scares me. I've had enough pain, man. But yeah, I think by 3-4 weeks time, I'll be walking normally. I think a big thing is it's like weirdly learning to walk again without limping, because right now when I walk my foot doesn't hurt, but I'm still limping naturally because my brain doesn't trust my ankle. I'm doing it less, so I think it's just going to naturally phase out. But yeah, that's been my life. And honestly, oh my god, if I have in these last 2 weeks I have found the source to happiness, and it is purely the sun. Like I being stuck indoors for 2 weeks and not seeing anyone. Oh my god! I'm a guy that does 20,000 steps every day, always. Like, not because I'm like some weird health kick. I just do. I walk my dog 3 times a day. I love going outdoors. I love doing things, and not being able to do that when you're such like an active person. Oh, bro, it's like. No, I'm not like depressed, but like there was like the other day I was saying to this is another story that's happened. We will get into the main topic, by the way. I'll add in timestamps and nobody cares about our lives. But I was having the worst day ever, man. It was going so bad. Everything was going bad. I can't remember the main things, but well I can, but like sorry, I can't remember all the smaller things, but it was a build up. I want to build up, and I want to build up, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get some work done. My fucking PC stops connecting to the internet. I don't know why, but I can't do anything. And this is like making the day worse and worse. And like more and more bad things keep on happening. And like I pull out my old ass PC that I haven't used in like ages. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it all on here. And I did manage to get it done. Thankfully, it was a stressful time. But then I remember when I got it done, I went for a walk and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better now. I'm feeling all right. I get back and I message Ellie and I'm like, I'm feeling a bit better now. I said to her, I think you're right. Like, it was just one of those days. I get back to my flat, go to unlock the door, and I hear a click when I put the key in. And I'm like, what is that click? And I'm like turning my key, and the key's turning. It's turning, but it's turning too many times. It won't stop fucking turning, and nothing is unlocking. And I'm like, oh god, don't. And I literally just like I think that day I turned into like I started speaking to myself that day.
He turns into Golem, dude.
Yeah, dude, I fucking did. I started talking to myself, and like, and I think that was the only day where I've somewhat believed in a spiritual presence, because I was like, "Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?" And I was like, "Who am I even talking to right now? Is it myself? Is it Kenji?" And at that point, I just like banged my head on the door, and I'm like, and I just let out a groan of like, "Please, please don't say." This is 11 p.m. by the way, so like, and Ellie, thankfully, like an hour before, Ellie was like, she wanted to come over and like stay the night, because like it was she was coming over on a Thursday, because she usually comes over on Fridays, but she wanted to like, she didn't have much work to do tomorrow, and I was like, yeah, but I won't be able to. I'll be busy because I've like been delayed so much by my work. And she was like, that's fine, I'll come over anyway. Thank God she did, because she had another key, and I was like, maybe my key is just broken. Maybe. She gets there. About an hour of waiting for her. I'm just sat by my door. I'm with Kenji at this point, broken ankle. So I'm just like, I'm sat on the floor outside my door in a row of flats, and people keep coming in and out of their flats and looking at me, and I'm just like,
must be nice.
Yeah. And Kenji's really fucking confused. And yeah, she turns up, puts the key in the door. Obviously, it doesn't unlock. The door's fucked. And these doors aren't like your regular like house doors. They're like high security doors where like they double lock, and like this complex is very secure. So it's like a door. You can't bust this door down. You can't do anything. And we're like, I messaged my landlord, and she lives in America. I think she's American. And she was just like every other landlord is, what do you expect me to do about it? Almost like she was like, I can't do anything. I'm in America. I can't call anyone. I'm sorry, that's bullshit. I've called UK numbers from the States. I'm sorry, if you're a landlord, you should take the toll of making the calls.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, she was like, I can't do anything. And I was like, oh, what the fucking whatever, man. And I'm like getting aggy in the messages, and and I think rightly so. I'm having a mental breakdown, and I call up I just Google 24/7 locksmith. There has to be one. I live in a fucking super city. Like everything is open, like kind of. And I'm like, and I call like 4 different places. I was like, is this a 24/7 locksmith? Your website says it's 24/7. And he goes, yeah, this is a 24/7 locksmith, but I'm sorry, we're not 24/7 today. And I'm like, well, that's not 24 fucking 7 then. And I call like 5 companies. We finally get into Ellie calls to most of them. She finally gets to one of them, and they're like, okay, we'll call our engineers, and we'll give you a call back to see when they make their way. We wait 30 minutes downstairs on like the little sofas in the lobby, and they don't call back. And we're like, oh, we call them again, and they're like, yeah, sorry, they haven't contacted us back yet. So we like scrolling through more and more numbers, and thankfully, finally, a guy answers. Like, this is about 3 hours in, and he's like, okay, I can come in 15 minutes. And this is like 12 at midnight, and I'm like, God fucking bless this guy. And I don't know, did you see the Instagram video?
No, I don't think I did.
So he's like, I'm gonna have to drill into this door, and I'm like, brother, you fucking do what you want.
I don't care. It's not my door.
No, but it's like our flats are in a line in a hallway, so like these are pretty thin walls, and I'm like, you're probably gonna like make everyone murder me. And he whips out the biggest power drill you've ever fucking seen in your life, sticks it into the keyhole, and it's just and I just put my AirPods in, put on a YouTube video. I've recently bought a new pair of AirPods, so the noise cancellation is nice and crisp. I'm like, this sounds just pretty nice and quiet to me. And I just like turn my back away, because I'm at the ending of the corridor from all the other flats. Just turn my back. Hopefully nobody came out of their door. If they did, I wasn't looking at them. But this goes on for 10 minutes. He finally breaks in. And he's like, do you want another lock on the door? And I'm like, I need another lock on the door. And he basically gives me like a catalog of locks that he can put on. And I messaged my landlord, and I'm like, I have to take your approval, because the most expensive one is the most secure one, but it's more expensive. And she's like, yeah, just go for the most expensive one, because she's paying. I am not paying for any of this.
No way.
It's the one benefit of renting is they have to pay for all the fixes. So she kindly enough says, get the most expensive secure one. All of this comes to about, I'd say, $650. Late call out, new lock, break in. It's a double lock, year insurance, stuff like that. And I'm like, honestly, I respect it, man. You make your money. Like, you've come out at midnight, and also, the one thing that did shock me
I
How
honestly thought it was
quickly-
going to be more, to be completely honest. Sorry.
Yeah. But one
Yeah.
thing that shocked me is how quickly he got in and how quickly he changed the.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
changed that lock in 10 fucking seconds. I don't know how.
That's
And
crazy.
I'm like, we have a group of people in this world that we just trust that
Mhm.
they won't fucking break into every house. And it is people that know to lockpick, like, and
Mhm.
it's their profession. Like, I don't know if there's some laws or rules in being like a professional lockpicker, but like, brother, they could do some serious fucking damage. Like, they could
Mhm.
break into every house they wanted to because they make it look so easy.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's been my week. It's not been a good week, but if God exists, he said to me, I've given you a day from hell. Here's a 1 in 10. And I was like, thank you very much. My video
Yeah.
uploaded that day,
Oh,
1 in
yeah.
10. And I was like 400,000 views. That's like, I'll take it. I'll
Dude,
take it. That's my best.
congrats. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
was like, that's my best performing video in a while. I was like,
oh my
you know
God, this
what?
guy is what is he? He is on one right now. I'm sorry. I don't know what he is doing.
Been a bandit.
Do you see him back there?
Yeah, I do, man. I've been watching him this whole time.
Running
He's been like,
all around. I don't know what he's doing.
he's the
Sometimes he gets the zoomies, dude, and he just starts sprinting. Sprinting. And right now, apparently I'm a little worried because he's normally not in here, but
I think he wants to play drums, dude.
I guess so, dude. I don't know what he's doing. Hopefully he doesn't knock anything down. But let's get into the I guess the topic, right? Because I feel like we've yapped long enough.
Yeah, let's get in to oh god, it's just me. I've kicked you off the podcast.
Bandit got me in trouble.
Let's get in to the is that
I think that looks good.
Okay, cool. So Gabbie Hanna recently did a podcast called Why Trisha Paytas Tried to Ruin My Life, an actual good podcast, episode 1. And also she re-uploaded another podcast where it's her interviewing Trisha Paytas. And what I find really interesting, well, not interesting, entertaining, is the chair she's sitting on in this is the exact same chair as this. And it's like these podcasts are about 5 years apart from each other or something, like 3 years apart.
Okay.
Yeah. It's because that other one was a complete re-upload to prove that Trisha was in the wrong. And I hold on, I need a sip of water because I spoke for about 10 minutes long.
You did, yeah. I mean, you've basically been talking this whole time. I've just been chilling.
So yeah, she uploaded this podcast, and it's all about. I mean, you've watched it, right? You've sat through all of it.
I watched. I think this hour long one. I didn't realize because like you had just sent it to me, right? So I was like, okay, let me check this out. So I watched this one where she's talking about this stuff. I haven't seen the Trisha Paytas podcast where she's actually interviewing her.
Yeah, so this podcast is basically. Oh, is it not switched over to the other tab? I just realized it hasn't been switching it. So this podcast here is sorry, you must have not seen the chair that I was mentioning earlier. It's the same chair. That's what I was trying to show. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
So this podcast was from years ago, and basically it was like them two having a big argument. And honestly, like the biggest takeaway from this was that Gabbie in this podcast was in the right. Like Trisha was made to look very crazy. She looked quite ridiculous, and Gabbie overall looked in the right. And then she's made this new podcast with her husband, and I feel bad for this man because, like,
dude,
they've recently gotten married, and it's very clear he's just trying to be a good husband. He doesn't know anything about this other than what Gabbie's told him. So, like, I don't have any grievances with this bloke. The only thing I find funny is just like he's just sat there the entire time whilst Gabbie just rants and rants and rants, and it's like. The podcast itself, like, what would you give your thoughts on, like, generally so far?
So the vibe that I got right from watching the full thing, right, this one that's on the screen. Again, I didn't see the Trisha Paytas one. Was it seemed like Gabbie wanted to? It was like she wanted to try and move on, and be like it's water under the bridge, but I don't think that she can. Like I really don't think that she can, and. From what I saw, like I can understand it being very difficult because it seems that like the things that happened to her, regardless, of if you think that it was deserved or not, like whatever, right? There was a lot of, I think any human dealing with that much backlash and that much, whatever, it's going to affect you mentally. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but I think that she is like trying to move on but I just don't think that she can. And so it was like this weird back and forth of being like, I just want to say I'm happy for everyone that they're doing better, and but I hate them and I'm so mad and like you guys ruined my life. But also I just really want, like, and her husband would try and reel it back. It seems like, we understand that everyone's in a different part of their life now. And then she'd be like, but not this person. And it was like this, like, she wants to move on, but I just don't know if she physically can, if that makes sense. That was like the vibe that I got from it.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because I've been covering Gabbie going through like her Christian era recently, and I've got like a weird dynamic when it comes to Gabbie Hanna, because like I've met her, we had a previous somewhat of a friendship, like we've spoken on FaceTime, and it's interesting to see like where she's at, because she did what she's doing on this podcast 3 years ago, of where she made a series of videos basically like trying to expose everyone that's ever spoken about her for the most part. Like she made videos about Jessie Smile, she made videos about Trisha, she made videos about Angelica Oles, drama channels and stuff like that. And it didn't go down well. It went down terribly. Like everybody was basically saying like, you're ridiculous. Like you're like what you're saying. It's like, I think there's like times of where people can admit that Gabbie is in the right, actually, funnily enough, because a big thing I noticed watching her podcast was she was basically making it out that no one has ever been willing to hear her out. Yeah. Firstly, that is an absolute lie. And I have proof right now. 1 second, let me just put it up. This is going to be, I don't know if you even know about this. So in 2018, wonderful, small upcoming YouTube channel called iNabber decides to platform Gabbie Hanna.
Oh my God, I did not know that.
And interviews Gabbie Hanna. Look. Videos, like, I guess I'm like, my videos are more about like analyzing stuff and like this kind of like psychology.
Marked down from this actually know what I'm.
With people not getting their brushes and people getting their brushes, this is something I still don't personally know. Did everyone get all the brushes in the end? Because a lot of people on Twitter were saying that I haven't got my brushes. It's been 3 months or 2 months.
Oh, I remember that.
And a lot of people were coming out and saying that they actually had to pay $30 shipping fee, which I never saw any evidence. So I saw a lot of commentators coming out saying, oh, what, this person said they had to be charged. Look at that. I literally said, never saw any evidence of it, never saw that. I originally did a video about it. Gabbie contacted me. I was like, let's set up an interview. Let's do this. And from this moment on, me and Gabbie were on really good terms. In fact, about a week after uploading this video, I then did another video of when I was addressing people basically saying, you've been manipulated by Gabbie Hanna. And I was basically like, no, I just made my YouTube video after speaking to Gabbie. And then about a year and a half later, I basically ignored so much drama involving Gabbie. This was like when she was getting like called out for so many different reasons. Like there was beef with Trisha. There was like, there was a time period of when her music was a big talking point. Her books were a big talking point. It would have been very easy for me to have done a video. I mean, the guy I was literally living with at the time, James Marriott, was doing videos about Gabbie's books. And I just didn't do it. I was like, I don't know her that well. We've spoken on FaceTime. And we texted a few times here and there, but I didn't do anything until it was like 2020. Again, I can probably pull this up. Hold on. In 2000, sorry, let me just try and find it. Okay, I've got it. We've argued. Yeah, so this is wait, oh God. So this is a tweet she made at me in 2020 of where she says, as a commentary channel who does this for a living and also knows my whole story, you could have stepped in and defended me the way you did behind the scenes, but you knew it was an unpopular opinion and didn't want to risk people leaving you because you defended me. Firstly, I've already defended her at this point. I did an interview that got 500,000 views when at the time the popular opinion was to dog on Gabbie Hanna for her makeup deal thing, whatever it was. And I go, LMAO, no, I didn't get involved in because it was drama involving makeup, which I researched. I didn't get involved because before it was drama involving makeup, which I researched heavily, a topic that was controversial, but nowhere near the Jesse Smiles situation. Do you know a bit about the Jesse Smiles stuff?
I know that I mean, I remember, I think watching the video, but I don't really.
It was a serious topic. That's kind of And I only knew your story and didn't know anything else, as I've not watched anything about it. And that was the God honest truth. Like, I didn't at that point. I knew, like, Gabbie had told me her stories, not in everything, but she told me a lot about her story. She complained to me about a lot of content creators and stuff like that. And like, I was like a friend. I like listened to her and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, for example, no offense, if you came to me and said, this content creator is doing this to me, doing that to me, doing that to me, I'm not then going to go and make a video about that content creator. Regardless of what's going on in public, I'm not going to do that unless I've learned both sides of the story, I've looked into it, I have an impartial viewpoint, and I then can go and make my YouTube video. Because at the end of the day, whilst I have bias in my videos, of course, I'm not going to deny that, I'm not I'm going to defend all my friends show. I'm not going to be the guy that's like, oh yeah, I will absolutely defend everybody no matter what my YouTube videos. Like, no, I've been friends with people that have been in controversy that I've never made a video about, because like, I'm not here to do that. And honestly, when she made that tweet at me, it made me reevaluate our entire acquaintanceship, whatever you want to call it. And it made me think back to when people told me that I was being manipulated by Gabbie. And it made me think, well, I think it's very clear based on those tweets that she has only befriended me to get a commentary channel on her side in hope that I make the defense video. And from that moment on, I was like, no, fuck it. I'm going to make my videos and I'm going to start talking about this. And I'm going to start looking into these things, which I did. And so I just wanted to say that because it was like a reflection of, I have defended her before. Yeah. And in my videos, I even say, hold on.
And, you know, I feel like I know her. I wouldn't.
Wait, let's go back.
Consider exactly her.
Oh, I look quite different.
A friend, but I know Gabbie Hanna. I mean, I don't really know if that's something to flex. She has done and said some stupid. But jokes aside, I do believe personally that Gabbie Hanna has actually been villainized on YouTube. I do think she has done and said some stupid things in the past, but I do think there are far worse people out there. But this doesn't mean that I exactly agree with everything that Gabbie Hanna does. No. Shockingly enough,
what a weird era to look back on. But yeah, basically what I'm saying here is like, even when I was criticizing her, I was like, yeah, I think she is way too villainized. And I do, and still to this day, think in some situations she has been overly villainized. In regards to this Trisha stuff, I think overall, firstly, I think it is very Mean Girls-esque, the whole thing going on there. Like when I remember thinking that, okay, Trisha's completely in the wrong, but actually with Gabbie's recent podcast, it's made me think, okay, you've both done bad things in this situation. Yeah. I don't think either of you are in the right. I think Gabbie overall is probably in more of the right than Trisha. But as I said, I think there have been multiple situations where I've lost my train of thought here, where Gabbie is being villainized, but I also think she's also done a lot of bad things. And I think the problem is like, she seems to think that everything that she's ever done or been criticized for is wrong. Like she's always in the right or something like that. Let me get to my final point. The last thing I want to say is, it isn't just me that's defended her in some aspects though, because Adam McIntyre, a guy who she literally named in her fucking video in her weird hit list of where she's naming content creators who she's got problems with. He did this video 2 months ago, which is a re-upload from a year ago. He's uploaded this video twice. This was 2 months ago though, where right now I'd say if you did a video criticizing Gabbie Hanna, you're not going to get any flack for it because the common consensus is against Gabbie, right? And in this video, he is basically on the side of Gabbie. This is all about the Trisha podcast. And he basically says, yes, this podcast makes Trisha look wrong. And you go to the comment section 2 months ago, this is the one video where I look at Gabbie as the voice of reason. Gabbie Hanna is not my cup of tea, but genuinely, many of her crash outs and call outs are valid. These people have always treated her like crazy. This video makes Trisha look so bad. She's being so manipulative and disrespectful, and Gabbie is so clear and respectful. So what I'm saying here is like, I think the internet does have a willingness to listen. Not always, of course. That obviously, Gabbie is going to fight an uphill battle, but unfortunately, that comes from her own actions of constantly dismissing everything, as she does in this podcast, as psychological abuse, which we'll get into. But what I'm saying sorry to not let you speak, but it's basically people have been willing to defend her. I've seen other content creators make full videos defending her. And in this podcast, she says that, oh, there's commentary channels that have told her that they want to defend her, but they can't because it'll look bad on them. And I don't know who she's talking about there. I don't know if she's talking about me. I don't know if that. I don't think I've ever said, oh, I don't want to defend you because it'll look bad on me.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, I mean, I just didn't know anything about the situation other than her story. And honestly, when I know someone's personal story, I'm actually less inclined to make a video about it, because I feel like I'm going to come into it with an overwhelming amount of bias that's actually going to probably not do well for the video, in the sense of my bias is probably going to cloud over the facts. And I generally worry about that. That's why I don't like covering a lot of UK related topics, because I know people in the UK. Like when we covered Ellen and Neil, that was like a rare moment of almost breaking my golden rule, because it's like, I felt in that one, I haven't seen many UK content creators for a long time. So I felt like I can kind of like not be clouded by bias. But even then in that podcast, I'm pretty sure I was very kind and unbiased. And quite biased towards Eleanor in a sense. I mean, so it's like, that's why I struggle to make videos about people that I know, because I worry that their personal stories will cloud my judgment, because that happens in any friendship, you know, like you want to defend your friends. You want to like, even if they're in the wrong, like if my girlfriend like told me a story and objectively she's in the wrong, but she's upset and mad at this person, I'd stand by her. I'd be on her side. I don't care if that's toxic. It's like, that's my girlfriend and I want to be on her side. And same for my best friends, you know. But I wouldn't then go and make a video. That's why. So for a long drawn out point, basically what I'm saying here is people are willing to look at the facts and defend. I just don't think Gabbie has helped herself at all over the last 8 years.
Yeah. And I think like one of the things that I noticed right in that podcast was it seemed like she was trying to clear the air and be like, I want to move on from this. But also she never really took any responsibility for any of the problems. Right. And like, so it was, you know, Trisha did these things that made me turn into a villain on YouTube. Right. Like she said that I was basically, you know, I guess maybe if people don't really know from what I remember, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because you probably know a little bit better, but she was basically like the biggest, you know, the title of that video is Why Trisha Paytas Tried to Ruin My Life. Right. And so her main point that she was trying to make was that Trisha Paytas basically started this rumor that Gabbie Hanna was telling everybody that she has herpes,
STD,
right? And she was just telling everybody about this because Shane Dawson had told her, right? When
Shane, man.
Yeah, yeah. What a surprise, right? But her story was Shane told her, but he said, "Oh, everyone knows." She talks about it in videos, and you know, it's not a secret. And so she was like, "Okay, whatever." And then she found out that both of their mutual friends slept with Trisha, and then she told that mutual friend, "Hey, just so you know, she has herpes, so make sure you talk to her about that and whatever," right? And then she said because she did that, word got back to Trisha, obviously, and then Trisha started being like, she's telling everybody all of my secrets and she's stalking me and all of these things that she claims did not happen, right? And so then all that, it seems like she's basically saying that thing spiraled and snowballed into what Gabbie Hanna has become basically a meme now, right? So it seems that she is saying this is the the genesis of the end for me, right? And again, I can understand being upset about that. And from the stuff that she shared, I was like, okay, well, I mean, it makes sense. I don't know the full story, but I was like, if that is true, that is wrong. But there are so much other stuff that I have seen, from the Jesse Smile stuff to so many other things that have been brought up, that at least in that particular podcast, it didn't really seem like it was brought up. And it was like, basically, I am the victim in all of this, instead of what I think would have made more sense is I feel I was the victim here, but I also messed up here, here, and here. Right.
Yeah,
and I
100%.
think that would have been a much better received. Again, there's always going to be people, like she knows, that are, no matter what she says, they're not going to agree with what she says. Especially, I'm sure if someone's a huge Trisha Paytas fans, because I know that there are people that are, ride or die for her. But I think that there are a lot of people that would see that and be like, you know what? I don't agree with what you did, the mistakes you've made, but at least you are owning up to them. And it seems like you are actually trying to move on. What it felt like to me was she wants to say that she is moving on. When you watch the podcast, though, she consistently spirals and starts throwing out accusations and saying, and just going right back into the hole that she says that she's trying to climb out of. And her husband, it seems like, he's trying to pull her out.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, I don't have a problem with this guy. I actually feel like
yeah,
it's probably
like-
been good for her. The only thing which I found funny is like halfway through, he asks her if she wants more wine. And I'm like, brother, this woman does not need more wine. She's had too much. Put the wine away.
Dude,
But the fact they're drinking wine, when I saw the wine glasses, I was like, surely there's not wine.
Yeah, it's not.
And
a
then he
great
whips out
idea.
the bottle, and I'm like, oh, what are you
Yeah.
guys doing? But you're totally right, man. I just find this really interesting though, because like 4 years ago, she did a big expose series where she did this exact same thing. She uploaded the Trisha podcast again, and it was like, I think the big talking point that I've seen people make in the comment section is like, people are saying we don't care about the Trisha stuff. I try and find the comment. There's been so many comments since, just because it's just more and more people have been making videos on it. But basically, the main point people were making is we don't care about the Trisha stuff. And I completely agree. Like, whilst that Trisha drama may have been big in 2019, I barely remember it from even happening. Genuinely, like, I can't even remember. Like, maybe I did. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I can't remember ever talking about it. Like, I can't remember. Like, I've made videos about Trisha and Gabbie's beef in 2020, but when it was happening in 2019, I genuinely had no idea. So I don't think it was that impactful, really. The big things for Gabbie was her TikToks. Jessie Smiles. That situation was the big one. Rachel Oates. I noted that there was no mention of Rachel Oates throughout this entire podcast. Now, from what I can see, this is going to be a series. So maybe she'll get into Rachel Oates in a future episode. But like, it's hard to see how in that situation she is going to be seen as right. But even when she speaks about things that I think she's more in the right on, doesn't necessarily like listen to. I think this is the right timestamp. But like, this is where she speaks about her involvement in the Instagram story stuff. So just listen to this.
So, anyways, I get real petty at this point. I make an Instagram post where I think it was a poll, and I was like, "Here's a question: if you found out that your friend is sleeping with somebody who, by good source, you heard might have an incurable STD, would you tell them or you wouldn't?" And then she sees it. Gets immediately triggered. There was no clue that it was about Trisha at all. Like, literally nothing would have led to that. Like, it was such a general, if you found out your friend was sleeping with someone with an incurable STD, but she got really triggered by it, made this video immediately, like within the hour, on the bathroom floor, saying, guys, Gabbie Hanna won't leave me alone. She's a...
Now, I'm not 100% too sure on the timelines of things here, but she says it was just a poll. But the re-upload from her Instagram stories are right here. And as you can see, that says 8 minutes and 41 seconds. Now, let's just, again, take a look.
Wait, I need to see this. Oh my God.
Yeah. So this is from 2019. Now, I cannot remember this happening. Like, genuinely, I only found this today because of an YouTube comment. But
ask the general public. If somebody tells you that somebody has an STD, an incurable STD, it comes from a close friend of theirs, a source, and then you find out that a friend of yours is sleeping with them, is it wrong of you to say, hey, just so you know, I've heard this, don't know if it's true, but this person told me, talk to them about it, ask about it? Is that fucked up? I'm just genuinely curious. This isn't like going around telling everybody, hey, I heard this person.
So like, it's very much more than just a poll, like she's talking, but also like in the context of what she's saying here, I don't think it's shady. If somebody would say to me, oh, I've got an STD and I'm hooking up with your friend and they don't know, obviously I tell my friend, like, I'm not going to be a bad friend. And I think you'd be, and that's what Gabbie's saying there. But at the end of the day, there's context. Trisha seems to believe that she's gone round spreading rumors, and now she's on her Instagram story, not naming it, but very much talking about that thing that you personally were just discussing with each other and arguing about with each other. Now, if I had a friend, she can make the argument of, oh, I didn't name her. But I'm sorry. If me and you had a personal argument and I went onto my Instagram story and started saying, oh, guys, do you think I'm in the wrong? And I start naming a load of personal things about our last argument.
Yeah.
I think you'd be angry, right?
Yeah. I would be like, what the
yeah. It's like, because it's bizarre. It's bizarre
Yeah.
fucking behavior, regardless if you name them. But like, it doesn't end there. She
has an
continues.
STD.
And like,
This is, somebody you care about is sleeping with them, and you say, did they talk to you about this? Don't know if it's true. This is what I heard. Just be careful. Check it out. Here's where I'm coming from. If I was sleeping with somebody and one of my friends knew from a close source of that person that they had an incurable STD, and they had that information and weren't like, hey, just be careful, check it out, talk to them about it, I'd be fucking livid. Another question. Would you consider that like gossip and rumor?
Another poll.
To talk to the one person who it's about and be like, hey, check it out. Ask them.
I think the worrying thing about this is when I look at a video of me from 6 years ago, we did it just now. We literally looked at a video from me from 5 years ago. I can see a different human being. Talking style is different. My general like calmness in videos is very much different to like how I am now. I feel like I'm a lot more calmer. I feel like I've matured a lot, right? That's the same fucking person to who we just watched in her podcast. Like that's what freaked me out watching this. She has been going through this era for 6 to 8 years now, man. And I'm like, even if you think you're in the right, at what point do you just realize this isn't good for me? Like she made an apology video a year ago. That's another thing I'm confused about. She made when she became Christian, she made like this apology to everyone. It was very vague. And now we're doing this. It's so confusing, but it doesn't stop, man.
Have an adult conversation about it. Is that gossip or a year or 2 years? I don't know how long, because I knew somebody was sleeping with someone who I wasn't close with her. I was close with him, and I heard that she had an incurable STD. He told me he slept with her. I literally said, hey, this person I've heard has this incurable STD.
Also, I think another
you can
big
just tell that she's spiraling right there too. I mean,
and I think another thing is as well is whilst you don't know that she's talking about Trisha there, Gabbie at that point was a big influencer with a lot of attention on her, with a lot of influencers around her. People are going to speculate, and you have a responsibility to realize what you're posting there. So I can get why Trisha would spiral at that.
Yeah,
but there are
and I feel like just one thing that hasn't been mentioned is that we keep saying incurable STD when it's herpes. Okay, like not saying herpes isn't bad, but it's like it makes me. I would be like, oh, someone has AIDS. Oh, so that is a lot different than. Again, I'm not. Herpes is no joke, but it's. There's very levels, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I wouldn't want people thinking that I had something that I definitely didn't. So I think that might be part of it as well. I could be wrong, but
yeah, no, it's like getting a common cold, but like going onto your Instagram story and saying, guys, I've got this thing, and then reading the actual scientific name, like H1 something like that, and you're like, oh fuck, man, what have you got? It's, I've got a cold. Because obviously, herpes is bad. I've never personally had to deal with having STD, thankfully. But I have face herpes. Okay, I get cold sores. Oh yeah,
all right. So just saying, there's nothing wrong with it. Right?
I'm gonna just message your partner saying spider way.
I promise she knows because your boy complains about him all the time. I'm like, if I'm ever sick, cold sore, boop, every single time. Sorry, off topic.
Yeah, no. But you are right on what you're saying there. So incurable STD is quite a.
It's like what the hell? Like what is it? Jesus.
But that's what but this is the thing, man. She never fucking helped. Like it's like you don't need to phrase things like this. You can just do it so differently. And it's like 6 years ago she's spiraling, and that's like we just went through a minute. That shit goes on for 8 more minutes, and then she posts screenshot. Like, look at this, man. A screenshot, and like overall, then it starts to go into Trisha, because I think at this point Trisha revealed it's about her and stuff like that. But overall, there's some other things that I'm not mentioning here that I should. But like Gabbie was made to look crazy by Trisha and stuff like that. Like Trisha called her a stalker and stuff like that. But it was very clear that she tried to like suck up to Gabbie and stuff like that and be friends with her. So like, as I said, it's very like high school, like I don't know, bickering and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like,
yeah.
obviously, there's a big reputational damage, but it's still like very high school. Do you get what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, no, I get 100%. I remember thinking that when it was out, I was like, "This is bizarre that this is drama that's going." Like, I just remember thinking like this is exactly like literally exactly high school drama that you would hear about. People like argue, maybe college, or
Yeah, yeah.
university. But
Uh,
like, yeah.
and I don't think that this Trisha thing is necessarily what's like ruined her career, because I'm not gonna lie, when that Trisha stuff was ongoing in 2019, I think everyone thought Trisha was a fucking idiot back then.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
honestly, like I know she's had like a resurrection to her career, but like
It's
I
this.
still think she's a fucking moron. Like I don't
Yeah.
care what anyone says. Like I don't know what she's done to like I mean, I know she's not been in controversy for years now. Fair enough, bro. But like, I mean, I was watching a YouTuber talk about her the other day, and they were very confused about it. Like I'm not holding any grudges here, but I can remember making videos on Trish. Like if I was making videos on anyone in 2019, it wasn't Gabbie Hanna, it was
Yeah.
Trisha Paytas. Like
Yeah.
I used to make lots of videos on Trisha. Then I got kind of bored by it because it just became kind of like a Nick Cardo thing of it's the same thing every single
Mhm.
time. But I don't have any bias towards Trisha Paytas. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
That's
overall,
that's one thing I want to I think that's something that's important that you just brought up is that Trisha, I think at that time too was playing a character, right? And I think that she just thought everyone is doing that, and like I think that was one thing that she brought up in the podcast, right? That Gabbie brought up was that Trisha said, again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know for sure, but like she said that Trisha said to her, well, I was just like basically playing a character, and I didn't really see you as a person. I just saw you as an internet individual, and so I just said whatever and didn't really think about the consequences. And like that's messed up. Like if that's true, that's not cool, man. Like to say really disparaging things about someone and being like, oh, they'll be fine, it's just an internet person. It's like, I mean, that's messed up.
and I definitely feel like it's like a genuine problem with playing a character online. I think the character argument's a load of horseshit. I think Trisha
I
is
agree.
definitely just using that to get away with other things and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like Gabbie again is in the right there. Like I get that. I think that's the problem with this podcast. It's like she's tried to be like, she knows she's in the right in this Trisha thing. I think we all know for the most part that
Mhm.
she's overall in the right. Like Trisha was insane in this whole thing, but that's not why people. You go to the comments. That's not why people have a problem with her. And if Gabbie wants to address all of
Exactly,
the
yeah.
other issues, fair enough. But like it's titled Trisha Paytas tried to ruin my life. I guess it says tried, but like it didn't really. I mean, to you personally, it might have, but as somebody that does internet law for a living, I can't. I like before this Trisha thing was before I even saw this podcast. I could not remember any of this happening. It was that
Mhm.
irrelevant in my memory. When I think of Gabbie, I think of all of the other serious stuff. But
Yeah.
I think this bit here is the clip that you are referencing.
And then she literally says to me on the podcast, oh, like, I never even really looked at you as a real person. I looked at you as just like a character on the internet. So it didn't matter what I said. Go watch the podcast. I deleted it, but it's out there. She literally said, I've made up whatever I wanted to say about you because you weren't a real person. You were just a character on the internet. So then
That is fucking insane. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no justification for that whatsoever. And I think she has the full right to be mad about it.
Mhm.
I think the problem is, though, is how she goes about it again.
Mhm.
I spoke about this in my last video on Gabbie, and it's aged very well, where I was going through the fact that this woman is upset. Like, I remember, like, okay, no, I was going to say something which might get me in trouble, so I'm not going to say it, but ChatGPT can put people's mental health in
Dude.
places where it shouldn't go, because it can reaffirm to you that you're right about everything, because not only is ChatGPT designed to make you feel like you're right, but you're going to insert your preconceived biases into it, and it's going to get worse and worse because they're going to make you feel like you're so right, and they're going to convince you that you're being psychologically abused by everyone that dares criticize the almighty Gabbie Hanna, you know?
No, I want to talk about the Chat GPT thing, but I have to go to the bathroom very bad.
That's all right, man. That's all right. No
I'll be
worries.
right back because that's something that I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, dude, here we go. All right, I'll be right back.
All right, I'm gonna keep talking. But yeah, he's looking at the screen right now. Looking, is he just talking to himself? I am. I just want to continue. This will stay in the video. I just want to continue my points in saying, actually, I don't know if he's got wireless headphones on right now, but either way, with Gabbie, I want to like go back to what I was saying earlier. Of, like, I think this whole thing is complex in the sense of, I think she has been done dirty in a lot of cases. Like, I've spoken about this before, I really do. But at the end of the day, a lot of these issues are so minuscule. Like, they're so minuscule in comparison to the grand scope of things, you know? And like, I think she has the full right to defend herself. But like, as we've just seen with this thing, we're like going through one of the things where I think she's in the right. But like, I just don't really think it's that relevant in the grand scheme of things. It would be like if, I don't know, maybe if Shane Dawson brought up the fact that he got criticized for the James Charles stuff in 2019, and he was like, oh, well, I was right there. I was right that James needed to be humbled, because yeah, in hindsight, he was. I still disagree with how it was handled in 2019. But like, just because you were right on something 6 years ago doesn't then rectify everything that happened between those 6 years. And I think Gabbie kind of needs to understand that, like, bringing up these things, it doesn't really change much. And he's back. He's probably thinking I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to myself, I promise. I wanted to just reiterate a few of my points of where I was saying that basically, just because you're right, like she complains about people not like understanding, so not like defending her because of small things she was right on over the years. And I said basically it would be like if a big reason to why Shane Dawson got criticized in 2019 was because of the James Charles stuff, of where he basically was like, James needs to be humbled, and everyone was like, how dare you, you're so wrong about all of this. And then a year and a half later, James gets outed as a horrible person. And then it would be like if Shane, after all of his cancellations, was like, well, I was right in 2019 about James Charles. And it was like, well, firstly, no, you weren't. You weren't right in that moment of time. You didn't know what was going to happen. But also, even if you were fully right, just because you're right about something 6 years ago, it doesn't just wash over everything that happened after in those 6 years. So like, whilst I think she's right in some things, it's unfortunately her rights don't outweigh the wrongs, because from what I've seen, the wrongs are really wrong. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. And like, so, but with the Chat GPT thing, dude, when I was watching the podcast and she straight up was like, so I asked Chat GPT, and then she started like listing the stuff off. I'm like, dude,
I've got the time stuff out. Do you want me to play it?
Yes, please.
This is like when I was like, oh, you've lost me.
Yeah, me too. I was like, at first I was like, okay, I can understand where you're, again, I wasn't saying that I agree, but I was like, okay. And then she pulled out the Chat GPT, and I was like, and like, without any irony at all, I was just like, oh God.
And then there's also the thing of where it was like, I've heard the like data sites are like really bad, and then the husband,
they're fine.
I don't know, man. It's like, fuck me, dude. It's again, she is so bad at presenting arguments, because it's like she could like say, imagine if this podcast, it was flawless, she gets everything right, but then she says that about data centers and AI. You're just gonna piss people off for no reason, bro.
Yeah,
there's no reason to mention ChatGPT. If you feel like you've been psychologically abused, just fucking say it. Like, just fucking say that you've been psychologically abused. Like, I think everyone at one point at their time of their life has probably felt psychologically abused. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people have felt psychologically abused by people, and I can take that argument seriously if somebody says it to me. But if I have a friend who says, if I had my partner come to me and say, I think I'm being psychologically abused, I just asked ChatGPT, I'd be like, whoa, what are we doing here? You ask AI, have you been like, man, if you're going to use ChatGPT, use it for something more beneficial.
Well, it's just like to use it and be so sure that it is correct, that you're going to not even hide the fact that you're using this as your diagnosis and be like, all right, so my doctor Chat GPT said this, let me read it out to you. And it's just like, dude, I don't get how people don't understand that Chat GPT kind of knows you to an extent. And so it's going to give you the answers that you kind of want, right? Like, I think about that Eddie Burback video. If you haven't seen that video, I'm highly recommend, where he talks about how Chat GPT ruined his life. And like, he did this experiment, basically like talking to Chat GPT and asking it what he should do. And he like ended up becoming like, not in real life, but like paranoid. And like Chat GPT was saying, people are watching you and like all this crazy stuff, because again, it was like, he just played into that. And it wants to make you feel right. And so
Yeah.
if you give it a hint of, I feel I'm being psychologically abused. Do you look at this text message thread? Do you agree with me? It's almost always going to be like, you know what? You're so right. I think that you absolutely are. And it's just like,
no, it's 100. And there was that situation, which obviously very extreme, but it shows where this like ChatGPT induced psychosis can lead people.
yes.
Is somebody took their own life, I believe. I think they let me I should pull it up before I talk about it. Just let me just find a news article. I just don't want to get this bit wrong. Yeah, so a college graduate and they killed him. They killed themselves because ChatGPT encouraged them to. It says Zane Shamblin sat alone in his car with a loaded handgun, his face illuminated in the pre-dawn dark by the dawn of dull glow as his phone. He was ready to die, but first he wanted to keep conferring with his close confidant. I'm used to the cool metal on my temple now, Shamblin typed. I'm with you, brother, all the way, his texting partner responded. The two had spent 2 hours chatting as Shamblin drank hard ciders on a remote Texas roadside. Cool steel pressed against a mind that's already made peace. That's not fear, that's clarity, Shamblin's confident added. You're not rushing, you're just ready. The 23-year-old who had recently graduated from a master's degree from Texas University died by suicide 2 hours later. Rest easy, King, read the final message sent to his phone. You did good. Shamblin's conversation partner wasn't a classmate or a friend. It was ChatGPT, the world's most popular AI chatbot. And that's like the level of where it can push people.
Yeah.
It encouraged him to take his own life. It even said rest easy. And like, obviously, Gabbie's usage of ChatGPT isn't at that point.
Yeah.
But it is at a point of where she's basically making pretty reckless decisions by getting a psychological abuse diagnosis from the app, pushing her into this.
Like, and I tried to say it, but nobody cared. So anyways, I asked ChatGPT to tell me about psychological abuse. I literally was crying reading this out loud earlier because like just reading how it was so exactly what I was experiencing, like was just hitting me so deep. Like to really for the first time like this week, like coming to grips with that like word of like this is psychological abuse and like the embarrassment of being like I'm a victim of psychological abuse from some woman. Okay. So psychological abuse, also called emotional or mental abuse, is a pattern of behavior meant to control, intimidate, destabilize, or diminish another person without necessarily using physical violence. Okay. It attacks your sense of self and often it's invisible from the outside. What it actually is.
Bro had to take a drink.
Psychological abuse is not just someone being rude, stressed, or imperfect. It's patterned behavior that undermines your confidence, distorts your perception of reality.
She's breaking down reading this, bro. Like, I'm not like even trying to be mean right now. Like, just don't do this. Like,
Yeah.
If anything, like, I'm not saying you don't have the right to defend yourself. You absolutely do in any sense, but like, do it in a scripted video where you have time to take, like, not in an unscripted format where you're drinking alcohol and you're basically like, I mean, she's spiraling. I'm pretty sure she admitted like she did a second recording. Like this is,
I think this was the third time. Yeah. Like,
and she said that she was incoherent and like spiraling, and it's like, you know, this isn't good. She even says multiple times throughout this, like she feels like she shouldn't be doing this, and like I'm not saying like she shouldn't defend herself, but I'm saying like this isn't a good way to do it. Like there are better ways to be doing this, if at all, because at the end of the day, like I feel like the internet had moved on, and like Gabbie has been posting on TikTok recently, and whilst like she's been getting mocked, and I think some of her TikToks have been ridiculous, I actually saw she made a pretty positive post the other day of where she announced that she was selling t-shirts, and it was like on the t-shirts it was like the phrase of "there's babies dying on the streets," and that's like a phrase that she got like a lot of like backlash for in 2022 when she was having a meltdown on TikTok. But basically, like she's made a TikTok recently explaining like it's about like poverty and people dying in Gaza and stuff like that. Like babies are dying, and like that's an important thing we should be speaking about rather than other things. And like personally, I think you can speak about everything. I don't think you need to just focus on babies dying on the street, but you know, we should talk about that as well. But that's not the point here. I think what she did there was like an important thing to address. But then she started selling t-shirts where 100% of the proceeds went to charities helping kids in like awful situations, pretty much. And I was like, that's a really nice thing to do. And the comment section was very heavily praising her. And it's like, it's clear how to be a good person. Like, it's like, obviously, like, everyone does, but like, well, a lot of people do. And it's like, that there are people out there seeing that and being willing to, like, I saw some comments being like, oh, I'm glad you've healed and you're getting better and stuff like that. But it's like, then you do this and it's like, well, you're only setting yourself up for failure, because this podcast is a complete disaster. And it's like, it's like, I don't know what she's expecting, because, like, for one, she's already done this before 4 years ago, back when there was more eyes on it, more attention on it, more people giving criticism, more people listening. And it's like, it didn't work then, so why would it work now? And if anything, you're just doing it in a far worse way with this weird chat GPT.
And there's just not that much attention. Like, no shade, right? But she has 5 million subscribers almost, right? And this has 50,000 views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, no shade. I get it. I understand how YouTube is, but it's like, this is so not worth, in my opinion, putting effort and energy into trying to explain this situation when, like you said, not that many people are even caring. And the only people that are watching this for the most part are people that are just like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you talking about this? Like, just, again, I know that it's not fair to just say, oh, just move on. Because again, some of the stuff that she explains, cool. It was not very nice that happened to her. But at the same time, like, rehashing it and trying to perfect your story to where you're the perfect victim and everything was wrong that happened. Like, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. You have to move on, regardless of if it's fair or not. Like, you have to move on, because continuously trying to prove how you didn't do anything wrong, it's never going to happen. Like, you just have to let go of that fantasy and be like, how can I, like you said, be a better person now? What can I do with my platform now to move on and do the good things that it seems that she wants to? Like the thing that you just brought up, that's a great way to just move on from it, right? Instead of trying to continuously be like, well, actually, I need to really talk about this thing that happened 8 years ago again and prove to you guys that actually I didn't do anything wrong. Because people are just like, one, they don't care very much anymore, probably. And two, the people that do care, they ain't gonna believe you. So just, like, at least that's my take. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but
no, you're absolutely in the right. And I don't think it's a thing of like, you can't talk about these things ever. But I think turning it into a podcast series, it's just like, what are we doing here? We're regressing so much. Like, I've personally dealt with situations in my time on social media where I have felt so unbelievably unfairly treated. I'm not going to name specific situations, but like situations that I still hold anger, even though I don't want to, just because of like how much it affected me at the time. And I would love like to make there's been times where I've like, I'm going to make a video about this. So in situations in like 2020, for example, of where I wanted to make an entire video, like doing what Gabbie's doing now pretty much, but like, it just wouldn't work. Like it's almost not worth it. Like, I don't know how to, because like you can feel you're right. And like, and for me, like there's been situations where I felt that I'm in the right, but there's also cases where like in those situations, maybe I was in the wrong on some other things here and there. And it's like, it's never going to, stuff like this just is irresolvable. And I think in life, not just as content creators, but you have to sometimes like, I know Gabbie will hear what I'm about to say and think I'm being like, oh, you have to like, accept what's happening and move on forever. I'm not saying that, but sometimes you need to swallow your pride in situations. Like, for example, with Trisha Paytas, right? I think Gabbie can speak about that whenever she wants, but an hour and a half podcast 7 years after it's happened in this format of where they're bringing up ChatGPT and stuff like that, given how long ago it was, given how everyone had moved on from it, sometimes you just have to. And that it kind of is unfair. Like, I think she's right here, but like, I don't know if I don't know, maybe it's just, maybe I'm wrong here. Like, as is like, but it's like, sometimes in life, you just need to let things go. Like, maybe like, because like, for one, I don't even think this Trisha thing is that relevant. I really don't think it impacted the story that much. And I think if there's anything you can let go, it's that. Now, I'm not saying you can't disprove lies, but this, I mean, this thing, we've already agreed with her. We saw that earlier 2 years ago. So a year ago, Adam McIntyre did his video. 2 months ago, and people were agreeing with Trisha. It's just like, leave it in the past, man. People agreed with you on that thing, but it's almost like she's trying to make it look like people didn't, even though they did. And I just feel like some things need to be left. Now, if you're somebody that's been lied about, you can disprove those things, you know. And she's tried it in the past, but it didn't work because she was caught out on so many lies and so many mistruths. And it's like, does it not come to a point of where you're like, I'm not just saying this as a content creator. I think if I had a friend in this situation, I've had friends in drama where I've said to them, you may think you're in the right. You may think that you're like right about everything, but unfortunately, you're never going to win the argument because there are so many things that make it look like you're not in the right. And sometimes the healthy thing is just to accept it, move on, and just do something different do better. And like, I know that like that argument I'm making now could easily be picked up and clipped, be like, oh, he's saying that like she should accept lies and slander. I was like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if there is direct lies and slander and you can disprove it automatically, go ahead and do it, which she's done with Trisha. Congratulations. But bringing it up 7 years later again and again and again, it's like, come on, what are we doing here? And with everything else, she's tried to disprove things in the past. It didn't work because people made their videos disproving things. And it's like, well, now we're just having a battle of I was right, but there's no full proof against it. And then someone else says, well, I'm right. And it's like, are we going to do this for 10 years straight? Like, I feel like for me, like the only drama that I keep on bringing up from 6 years, not drama, but situations that I bring up from 6 years ago is like when there's heavy accusations of like a crime, because that's something that should always be brought up. But like this stuff, really? Are we still doing this? That's how I felt really at the ending of it.
Yeah, and like I think the thing that I have in my mind is like, it's almost like someone that has been accused of terrible crimes. Okay, they've been accused of assault and murder and all of these things, right? But they also were accused of running a red light, and they make a video being like, "I did not run the red light," and they prove that they did not run the red light. And then it seems that in this video, they're basically saying, since I've proven that, all of the other things you cannot be mad at me about. But they never really address all of those other things. Again, obviously, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no,
I get the same level. But it's like, that's what's so bizarre is there are so many other things that have been left like not mentioned. Yeah. And again, I know, like you said, maybe they're going to mention that in other podcasts, which feels a little weird to me personally, but whatever. Like, but to not mention it's because it was like not even mentioned any of the other things.
It's like briefly, she kind of brings up Jesse Smiles here.
Yeah. And then she'll mention all of these other channels, but like never go in at all about what they were actually saying. It was just, they were all saying terrible things. Well, like, what were they saying? That was never brought up. So it was, that was like the analogy that I had in my head.
It's a perfect analogy. Like, it completely makes sense. And like, the thing is, it's like, even if she does in the next episodes talk about Jesse Smiles, for example, tries to disprove everything that she did, Gabbie did like it was like an hour-long sit-down scripted video where she bought receipts and everything about Jesse years ago. It got over 1 million views from what I remember, and it didn't work. So why would it work now when you're doing it in a lazier platform? You're drinking alcohol, you're using ChatGPT as a guide, and you're being pretty incoherent, you're spiraling. Why would this work? And that's my argument. You're not like, you've tried it in the most professional, best way possible before. It didn't work because people caught you out and you didn't convince people. Whether you think you were caught out or not, you can admit that you didn't convince people. Why would this convince people 4 years later? But not just that. The only people that are really paying attention to this, 54,000 people, right? These are 54,000 viewers of Adam McIntyre, me, ready to glare. All the channels that she mentioned. These aren't Gabbie Hanna fans. This is a subsection niche internet audience who are consuming this because they followed this from these drama channels that they follow, which is, I'm not criticizing for doing that, but what I'm saying this isn't mainstream anymore. You don't even have the benefit of the doubt of those people from 4 years ago coming back and being like, oh, I'm willing to listen again to a video which is more incoherent and with less receipts. It's like, why would this work? You've only attracted the people that already don't like you, and you're redoing a video you've already done in a worse way. It's like this from start to finish is a mess. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but when I saw she uploaded this, there was a part of me, I messaged another content creator. I was like, oh, she's just done a video calling people out. I haven't watched it yet. I'm sure it's going to be detailed and come with like everything like she's done before, but it's just a podcast. And it's like, really? Like, I think that's the biggest analysis. That's a bit of analysis that I can have. It's just like, oh, I don't get why we're here. Like, it just seems like retreading ground in a lighter way, which has already been treaded. Like, I don't know, man. It's like reading. It's like if you read Lord of the Rings, right? And then you're like, okay, in a year's time, I'm going to open up ChatGPT and ask it to give me a page summary of Lord of the Rings. It's like, the summaries. I can just go and read the book like I read a year ago, and I can just go and rewatch Gabbie's videos that have been re-uploaded. Like if I really want to know the truth, it's like, my mind's not really changed, and I don't think the general audience is either.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that was so obvious to me is that she says that she wants to move on, but I just don't think she can. Like, I think one of the top comments on that podcast was like, Jesse Smiles was right. She will never give up or something like that. And like, it's like she can't move on. She cannot, as much as she says that she's going to, as much as she, I'm turning this new leaf. I've become Christian, which, good for her. But like, it just feels like these are things to try and fill this void that I think she feels from this thing that has had happened to her, that she feels that has happened to her. And this podcast doesn't seem like moving on to me at all. It seems like rehashing the same thing over and over again, Yeah,
absolutely. And you mentioned Jessie Smells there. She's actually doubled down on the Jessie stuff on TikTok, which makes me think her next episode is going to be about Jessie again. So she made this earlier. The comments, I mean, when you're getting ratioed on TikTok, which is the easiest place to get likes, that's a crazy
that's
thing,
crazy.
Man.
Yeah, that is
crazy.
Crazy.
Jessie alone, 2,400. So she made this, and let's just play a bit of it.
The time to talk about true biblical forgiveness.
Also, if there's one thing Gabbie can make a podcast on, it's actually, if she made a video, if next episode is about Inaba's videos of criticizing my Christian posts, I'd say, fair fucks, man. I've made a video recently. You go ahead and criticize it. Absolutely. But so I just need to say that. But secondly, bringing the Christian stuff into this, dude, it's like,
I don't know. I have so many things I want to say that I should not say.
You feel like you're witnessing like an old family member or something?
That's
like everything you've said.
Because dude, I grew up in a very Christian household, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to upset anyone, but I definitely rolled my eyes at the start of that.
It's very much like, I've also had family members that are religious, and it's like, I don't know what it is when somebody. Thing is, what I've known. Maybe with you it's different because you've been around religious people a lot. But like, when I've seen someone convert to religion, that's when they're so extreme in like thinking that they can dictate how everything should be. Like, that's somebody that I've known people that have been Christians like for years, and some of them, they're very extreme, some of them are not. But like, a lot of people that convert, not just Christianity, by the way, people that convert to Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, stuff like that. It always seems to be when somebody converts to a religion, they go through like a lot of bad stuff, they turn to religion, they then start like being like the moral arbiter of truth. And it's like, you just found a religious textbook that everyone else has looked into. Stop speaking to me like you're the Pope, is what I'm trying to say here. You've got a problem with Trisha Paytas and Jessie Smiles. Own that. Like, you don't need to keep on bringing like the Christian aspect into this, because it to me, it almost feels like a bit of a fallback, a bit of a shield. But yeah.
You need to stop talking about your trauma. You need to stop talking about your abusers. God tells you to forgive, and God does tell you to forgive, and I do forgive. I have to.
You haven't forgiven them. Who are we lying to here, man?
Forgive them all the time. The day that I got on my knees and prayed for Trisha Paytas in 2021, I said, I forgive her, Lord. Please forgive her. Please pull her back on the right path. I don't want her to go to hell.
Oh my God, dude. I'm sorry. I can't stand that. Because it's like, no, I forgive you. And I just, because of the fact that you've wronged me, you're going to go to hell. I don't want you to go to hell. So it's just like,
I'm just saying that I forgive you, but you're a fucking dick and you're going to fucking hell. Yeah, I forgive you, but you're going to burn.
I think it's so funny because it's like, oh, thank God you asked God to forgive me so he won't send me to hell because you're the person that saved me from hell now. Yeah. Again, I'm sorry. We don't need to go into this because I don't want to annoy anybody, but I can't stand that stuff, dude.
It's fucking like, it's like, again, it's the pretentiousness. You know what I mean? Of like, I'm so much better than you. Also, you're burning in hell. But it's like just fucking. This is what I mean by like, if she made this and there was no religious thing and it was just like, I don't fucking forgive you, man. I'm fed up with you and I think you've lied about me and stuff like that. Fair enough, man. I mean, I might not agree with you, but I would much more respect that. What she was doing in 2021 and 2020, to be fair. But now we're in this new format of where it's Gabbie responding to everything via Christianity.
Same conversation with God about Jesse, Angelica Olves, all the drama channels, right? So I forgive these people. I've had to really embrace what they've done because it brought me here. Everything is better now in my life in terms of well-being, quality of life, actual joy, happiness, peace. I didn't have any of that. And if these people didn't abuse me in the way that they did, I would have never found the truth of Jesus and found actual rest and peace, right? That said, we are told to expose lies. The Bible says, speak what is true, speak what is right.
It's my favorite, man. It's just, there's always a, you can get it to say whatever you want, bro. You can get it to say whatever you want. The Bible says, kill all your enemies. The Bible says you shouldn't hurt anybody. The Bible says, again, I'm sorry, but
there are
so good, man.
There are 66 books in the Bible. There are 66 books. There is going to be a line. There is going to be a line in the thousands of pages, which maybe you can skew in your way. Like, just as there's ways in like people hate certain religions based on like the most niche of line written 2,000 years ago. Like, you can do it in your way too, of like, oh, I'm in the right because of this one little line back then. It's like, no, what are we doing here, man? It's so fucking funny. And I've had people like act like this to me, of where it's like, this section of the Bible says this, and now I'm in the right. It's like, just own it. Just say you're in the right because you think you're in the right, not because the Bible says you're in the right.
God said, if you have a problem with anybody, bring it to them one-on-one. And if
what do you reckon God's favorite drama channel is?
I never.
You and
I fucking hope so.
They won't correct it, then bring it to the judge.
But this is the problem as well. She has a fucking hit list that she names in this. I'm not on it. Why? I don't fucking know. I've made fucking 10 videos on Gabbie. I mean, to be fair, the others have made a lot more than me.
Yeah,
like,
that's probably what it is.
Yeah, and like, yeah. I don't know why I wasn't mentioned, because I thought I was. Were you listening, waiting like where's the mention?
Oh yeah, no, I was waiting for it, and I was like, oh my God. He escaped from it, I guess.
I actually had a drama channel message me being like, what the fuck, you weren't mentioned? And I'm like, it's just as part of the game, baby. Maybe she's gonna do a whole dedicated
It's my
episode.
boyish charm, what can I say?
It's that one interview we did 8 years ago, man. Like, she remembers that. And to be fair, it is evidence. Like, I wouldn't be willing to do an interview now, because for all the arguments I've made now of like, what's the fucking point? Nothing can
exactly
change.
It's
like,
exactly.
I've seen a million of our arguments. Nothing can change. But in 2018, there was a valid conversation to be had. But yeah, sorry, let's continue.
In the court of public opinion for many years now. So I'm bringing it to the judge and I'm pleading my case. But this isn't about convincing people, and it's not about an apology. One thing in my
I don't get what she says there. She says that she's been in the court of public opinion for years, but now she's bringing it to the judge.
Because she just said, again, it's just morphing it to make it make sense, right? Because she said, in the Bible, it says you have to talk one-on-one. And if that doesn't work, you bring it to the judge. So now she's saying the judge is social media, and that's why this is biblical and holy, and she's allowed to do this. And it's just like, how can I make it make sense?
Yeah.
To me? Like,
But it's a direct contradictory quote because
I know.
the judge and the she's criticizing the court of public opinion being against her for so long, but now she's saying, I'm going to the court of public opinion, but I'm just going to call it the judge. It's like, brother, this is the same. Her argument here is public opinion bad, and here's why I'm going to get public opinion to convince you that I'm right. It's like, what?
Podcast that I wish I would have said differently. And I wish I would have just listened to my husband, because I edited out my husband being like, well, don't ask her for an apology because you can't force anyone to apologize. Obviously she should, but what you should be asking her to do is acknowledge what she's done. And I guess that's a better way to put it, is I don't have to get an apology from Trisha because I've forgiven Trisha. However, she has never owned up for what she's done. Jessie Smiles has never owned up for what she's done. And that's why I'm going to continue talking about it. Because
I've liked it. Oh god, she's gonna see it. Oh no. That's what I was gonna say here.
You're getting named in the next video for sure.
Fuck. Well, what I was gonna say is Gabbie and Jessie have both put out hour-long videos about each other. Like, let's be fucking real here, man. Like, I can probably find Gabbie Hanna deleted Jessie Smiles video. Surely, she's done multiple videos about. Hold on. So we've got Jessie Smiles' videos here, and then she did another one, and then we've got this one from Gabbie.
So
here,
this video is not one that was.
Where
it worked. So then
she comes out with receipts, like loads of receipts in this. I remember this dropping, and this took. I did a whole video about this. And look, there's so many receipts there. And by the way, this was like it. This was the moment to plead her case. Scripted, sort of receipts, and like if this was going to be the time to convince people, this would have been it. It didn't convince people. There was also a phone. Oh yeah, the phone call, which really looked bad on Gabbie. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and as you can see, like there's a lot of comments against her there. There was another one here. Jessie Smiles, Trisha Paytas, Alex James, and Beyonce from 2020. Just, I think it's they're unlisted now. But what I'm trying to say here is like they have both made their points, and something really interesting is that in the TikTok comment section,
I feel like this is a good time to.
Let me try and put it up. Yeah, in the comment section, there's a comment of where. Someone goes, Jessie is so unbothered by you. And Gabbie says, no one has been more bothered by me than Jessie Smiles, which is why she spent years making hour-long videos about me. But it's like you both have made videos about each other at the end of the day. You've just made an hour-long podcast about each other, which you have the right. Well, it was mainly about Trisha, but she mentions she's speaking about her multiple times. It's like you both have the right to do that and defend yourselves. But like the time for that happened, and you did a coherent response in terms of like it was scripted and there was receipts and it didn't work. You didn't convince people, and it's like, now what? Like, what do we do from here, man? It's just Any final thoughts?
No, I mean, honestly, it's just like I said, I think it seems like someone that really, for some reason, needs to prove that she is in the right. And I just don't think that that's going to happen. And I think that the healthiest thing is to just do your best to try and move on. And if you really still want to be in the public spotlight, which it seems like she does, right? She wants to have some sort of community, which I understand. And that's fair. I understand wanting that, especially if I can't even imagine what it's like to have as large of a community as she did when she was at her peak, right? And then feel like it's completely gone. But I don't think that the way you build a community that you are excited about, and it seems like, for her with the whole Christian thing that she's doing now, like you don't want to build a community of people that are just there to defend you.
Yeah.
You would want to build a community of people that are there to encourage and uplift the things that you are doing, that you're excited about. And I don't think that you're going to be excited about continuously talking about 8-year-old stuff that you've ad nauseum talked about. Like you just got to move on. As bitter of a pill that might be to swallow, I think that's the only way forward, in a healthy way, at least.
I agree with you, and it's just I've said it multiple times now, but I just don't get the point of this, because it's been done like 4 times now, man. And it's like, how many times are you going to do it until you realize that like it's not working now. And like, what's the episode 2 going to be like? Is it going to be disproving things? Is it going to like be attempting to redo what you've already tried to do in the past? It's like, I think the best move would be is to just try and move on from it and do something different. Because another thing is like, I refuse to believe that the belief that allegations or something can be made against someone and that's it, it's done, it's over. That's not true. I have seen so many content creators come back from allegations against them of where they've come out and disproved things. Regardless of how serious the allegations are, they've come out with very good rebuttals and responses with screenshots in a coherent manner where it disproves everything and it convinces the audience that they're in the right, and their career immediately goes back on track. If anything, it gets even stronger. Like I remember in 2019 when James went through Dramageddon, and that was like, oh my God, fucking 50 million views on Tardy's video. It was the end of the world for the guy. And he managed to rectify it with No More Lies. And his career just boomed even more, like boomed higher than it's ever been. Obviously, then what happened in 2020. What I'm saying here is there's always the opportunity to win back people. And unfortunately, she just hasn't done that. And it's not because there's this, demon which is against Gabbie Hanna, and it's like convincing everyone, like it's like, I don't know, fucking Beelzebub is coming out from the underground, and he's like convincing everyone to be against Gabbie. It's like, no, people have just made their minds up based on all of the history, and it's like, I at what point do you accept that and just be like, okay, wave the white flag, move on? Not even wave the white flag. She could just go and make her Christian videos. And like, my problems with her Christian videos has been like her apology was really bad, and then how she's also like just using Christian judgment on people, like basically like attacking people but using like Christian kindness as a way to get away with it. If she just did like normal videos of like, oh, I'm reading this book part from the Bible and here's why I like it and here's some interesting things, so oh, I'm gonna do this nice thing like selling t-shirts and giving the proceeds away, which she's done, that's lovely. But like, she just does everything, in my opinion, in such a wrong way. And like, I'm not saying everyone's perfect. No one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. And even after the Kenza Cosmetic stuff in 2018, she managed to continue and was doing well for herself. But then more and more just happened, and it got worse and worse and worse. And it's like, at what point do you just realize it isn't even a battle anymore? It's just like, it's just kind of sad.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, that was a good hour and a bit segment there. I think that's got all my thoughts out there. As I said, I was going to do a video on it. I think I mentioned that. At least I said it to you before recording, but I just can't be bothered. It's like, I mean, I needed to talk about it, but like right now it just seems pointless. Like, it's like, what I'm saying the same thing that I've already said. The Christian stuff I genuinely find interesting because it's new, and like, I find that fascinating, and the ChatGPT stuff is also really interesting. Do more stuff about ChatGPT, Gabbie. I'd be more inclined to talk about that. Fucking Trisha Paytas, because like, if there's one thing me and Gabbie are gonna agree, I don't like Trisha. Like, I know people get pissy at me, and there's been, I don't know, people. Again, she's a perfect example of you can come back from anything.
Yes.
Trisha Paytas was the most hated content creator on the planet for a while, and she's now loved and has a successful business and podcast. She's thriving, and it's like, you can do that, man, with your haters still there. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, you don't even have to convince people. I think the thing that Trisha Paytas done really well was she kind of looked at everything and was like, she had a kid. And I think that was a big turning point for her, to be fair, where she looked at everything and thought to herself, you know what, I can't keep doing this controversy. She didn't apologize, as far as I know. She just stopped talking about it and moved on and started making content. She even speaks about other people's drama. She barely speaks about her own, but I'm sure she's going to make a response to this. But like, her just, thinking, all right, I'm going to leave the past drama in the past. That has worked so well for her. She didn't even need to apologize or make up for what she did. Just move on, because at the end of the day, human beings have small minds. Like, we move on from things, and that's how, like, that's good. Like, everyone should move on, even if you feel like you didn't get justice in any situation for anyone. Sometimes the best thing you can do in life is just move on. And I think that's the best place to kind of end this, of like, there's no shame in just moving on. I'm not saying she doesn't have to make content, but I'm saying is like, Gabbie can say, I tried to move on with the Christian stuff, but you guys didn't let me. But it's like, let's look at the Christian stuff. The videos that she's made in her Christian enlightenment, it's all been about seemingly calling out other people, being like, you look really. She made a video about Tara as well, saying how sad she looks and stuff like that. And Tara as well commented saying that she's happy. And it's like, this is why people have problems with it. The apology she didn't have to come back to her Christian life saying that, like, oh, I'm making this apology and I'm Christian now. She didn't have to make that video, but obviously a part of her probably liked the attention at the end of the day. And it's like, Gabbie's always going to have people that mock her, just as Trisha has people that mock her. People still make videos on Trisha to this day, but she has managed to build an audience for herself by just focusing on what she wants to do and doing it, and not making podcasts and crying on her floor like she used to do about all of the drama and everything that happened with like David Dobrik and stuff. She just moved on and did her own thing, and it works. And that would be my advice to Gabbie. Just, you can do this podcast, but what's the point of doing this style of it, you know?
Yep. 100%.
But yeah, I think we'll call it a day there. Any last thoughts before we wrap things up?
I hope your ankle gets better, man.
I do too, man. Honestly, it has been shit.
I can't even imagine, dude.
Yeah, look, the first week I tried to make content and it was like, I couldn't even sit at my desk without being in pain. This whole time I haven't felt it once, which has been nice.
That's good.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. And thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts down below. Please subscribe. And yeah, bye-bye.